What is going on? What is going on, everybody? It's Nicodemus, the king of indies himself, and welcome to episode 8 of the Trophy Life podcast, your premier podcast for all things PlayStation. And ladies and gentlemen, we definitely feel like we got a good show for you guys. Thanks everybody for joining. Thanks everybody who joined up before we started. We do apologize for being a few minutes late. We had a few technical difficulties and things like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and start with the intros. We got some prominent guest up in here today. So I want to go ahead and start with our guest. So let's go ahead and start with my man Persona. What is going on, man?
What's going on, people? It is your boy Persona of Gaming with Persona in the Council and what's up PlayStation.com, and I'm just happy to be here.
That's what's up. Well, welcome to the show, sir. It's so good to have you on the show.
Oh yeah, this definitely feels good to be here. Definitely does.
Awesome. And then next up, we got my man Rand Al Thor in the building, the man with the million. Say what's up to the tick population, sir.
Hey, what's going on, guys? You told me this was the achievement life, not the trophy life. So what am I doing here, man? What's going on?
You are here to represent the Xbox Nation today, sir.
Oh, yeah, I'll do my best.
You're like Kratos among the gods at the moment, I tell you. So you're gonna come and wreck our lives.
That's what's up. Well, definitely welcome to the show, sir. And then we got our co-host for the evening. I'm gonna start with my man, the British Beef himself, Chris. What's good, sir?
Evening, Nick. Evening, Tick Nation. Evening to our guests. Hope it's gonna be a good night tonight.
It should be, as long as you don't say anything like too fanboyish this time. Should be fine.
Well, like Nick hates Xbox. Hashtag.
And then let's go ahead and introduce my man, aka the smart one, Kevin. What's good, man?
Hey everyone. Again, I don't know if I would constitute myself as the smart one, but I'll let you continue to flatter.
But if you're comparing me, you, and Chris, yes, you're definitely the smart one. I'm just gonna say that straight up.
Well, I think everybody has their own intellectual strength. So how about we?
Who is playing that music? What is that? What is that? This band music? What is that? British Beef. So we got a decent show for you guys. I do feel, if you can tell by the title, it's called "The One About Sony's Crooked Marketing Deals," and in quotations is the word crooked. So that's going to be our main topic for the evening. But first and foremost, we are gamers, so I definitely want to touch on some video games, some games that are exciting us this week. So what has everybody been playing this week? Let's start with Persona, because he plays a lot of games. What you been playing, man?
So this week, what have I been playing? Well, this past weekend I played Shyness, the Lightning Kingdom. I gave that a try. I actually really like it too. It's really, really good game. Really enjoying it. I played a lot of indies this week. Mr. Masagi. I played Full Throttle. I played Sound and Shapes. Finally, I picked that up. I played Albedo. I played Nubla. I played Freeze Me. I played Death Synchro City, and I also played some Uncharted 4 multiplayer and a bit of Persona 5. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing this week.
Some of those games don't sound too fun, and particularly Freeze Me, because I know about that game. I tried it. It's basically like a little Asian girl, right? Like she looks like a little Asian girl from Mad TV.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, and that's definitely not fun. So what's got you playing these games, sir?
I'm strictly playing this for the trophies, so I can get this platinum. So that's my reason for playing it. I started it up last night, and it was pretty dope. But I gotta dive in a little bit more just to get a full feel for the game. But it ain't something I normally pick up and play. But it's got the platinum that I'm looking for, so I got it. It was cheap. It was only like what, $5?
Yeah. Okay. I knew there was something behind that. I started hearing the list of games. I'm like, trophy hunting. It's all good. You're on the right. You're definitely on the right podcast by the name Trophy Life. That's for sure.
I'm trying to build my trophies up, man. I'm trying to be, one of them top tier trophy hunters, man. That's what I'm working on.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So my man Rand, speaking of trophies, he's the king of trophies. What's going on? What games you been playing, man?
I've just finished my first playthrough of Outlast 2. What else have I been playing? I played Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale series. I did the first episode of that.
Dope.
I played Race to the Sun, which just came out on Xbox. I think it's been out on PlayStation for a while.
Yeah, I played that. Yeah.
Played Flint Hook, which was it's a really, really good roguelike game. What else have I been playing? Wonder Boy. I started today.
Wonder Boy.
Boy started today. Haven't really gotten that far. I think I've only put like 20 minutes into it. I'm gonna try to finish it so I can put up a video about it. So far, I mean, it looks really good. Like the read-around graphics and stuff. It looks very interesting. Yeah. I played more. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. This is when I usually got to bring up my trusty old gamer card and look and try to remember.
But you play so many games, you just can't remember, huh?
Yeah, like so many games that I played. Deformers, I played that, which just came out this past Friday on PlayStation and Xbox. I played Late Shift.
Oh, the live action game.
Yep.
How is that? Because I was leaning to picking that up, but I kind of held off.
It's very, very interesting because it is basically a choose your own adventure movie. Like there is no cursor you move around. It's just basically it's a movie that plays, and you'll usually present it with two options, like go or stay, or run or hide, and you just pick the two, and it just keeps on going. So it's a movie you watch. It's a movie you watch, and you have limited interaction with. Okay. But on the trophy side, it is a 2-hour completion, I believe. There is a way to kind of get all the endings in one playthrough by kind of like reloading your save. So if you want to get a plat, I know you're on that plat trip, you can definitely use that game to get it. What else did I play? I played Voodoo Vince Remastered, which I never played Voodoo Vince before, so I was kind of interested in seeing what it was all about, and it's a pretty cool game. I'm gonna go back to and finish it at some point when there's not all these games to play. And I also played City Skylines, which I never. Okay, so growing up, I didn't play the SimCity games, right? Those building games.
Yeah.
So this is not my type of game. Like, because when I started up, and it's just like build roads and all that stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, this isn't for me. But a lot of people do seem to like it, so that's what I've been playing.
So in your old age, now you feel like building cities and skylines, basically. What you saying?
Well, it's like I sat there and there's no tutorial. Like I thought there'd be a tutorial about how to like maybe build like a super small city, so to give me the basics and what I needed to accomplish for, building a bigger city. But it's literally just like they just plop you down and it's just like okay, and I'm just sitting there like okay, what do I do?
Yeah,
they're like little yeah.
Those games have a really like high barrier to entry because it is very much so like they throw you in and then they're all these systems and they're like, go ahead, figure it out. It's like, what? How are you supposed to do that? So
and I'm like, I'm not figuring it out. I got other games to play.
Yeah,
I'll go play something else.
That
is what I've been playing this past week.
That is a well-rounded selection, sir. Definitely impressive. You got me beat. I'm gonna save me for last though. Let's go with my man, the British B. What you been playing, man?
Oh man, I can't compete with those lists of games that the guys have just said. I can't deal with that. I've really only been playing Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale, which is enjoyable, typical Telltale game. And also I've been playing the Dishonored 2 demo, which I'm really enjoying. I really enjoyed the first game, so I'll be picking that up this week. Really, I think, other than kind of dabbling in the usual Horizon, FIFA, that sort of thing, that's about it for me this week, I think.
No VR games?
No VR games. No. I've been enjoying life too much. So
nobody plays VR anymore.
So it's collecting a wee bit of dust, but I think I might crack it open this week. Just for you, Nick, I think.
Yeah, so you can talk about it next time.
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
You're like legit the only person that has a VR that I know, besides maybe Persona.
But I'll admit mine's is collecting not a wee bit, it's collecting dust.
it's forgotten. He forgot he had one time mentioned it just now.
It's on your hat rack already. So
Yo, what's good? What's good with the chat? Everybody in the chat, appreciate you guys joining us. I see y'all out there. I don't want to name names because people get jealous when I do that. What's good, Puerto Rock? What's happening with you? All right, yo, Kevin, what you been playing, bro?
Just continuing Mass Effect, really. Yeah, on that Mass Effect grind and doing the mobile app with it. When I'm not actually playing, I do the mobile app to get more in-game rewards and things like that. And that I mean, there's not a lot to it, but it's entertaining enough. But yeah, so I mean that's the real crux of the gaming so far. What I am really interested in playing though is the Prey demo. That's supposed to be coming out soon.
Yeah. I thought it was already out though.
I don't think so. If it is, then I'm about to go download it. But
yeah, I've been waiting for that too. I'm glad they put out a demo for it. They don't usually like put out demos for games before the game release. Like this is Bethesda, right?
Yeah, the demo comes out April 27th.
Okay, nice. That's in
well,
two days.
They've just dropped the Dishonored demo 2 weeks ago, something like that. So I think maybe they're thinking it's a bit of a strategy just to give it a go.
Hey, that's bold. I like that. I'm gonna try it out.
Me too, man.
I was definitely impressed with the Prey gameplay and stuff. I checked it out at PAX, or was it QuakeCon? I can't remember, but it was one of those conferences I went to, and man, it's pretty dope looking. So looking forward to that.
It will never beat the discs on the front of the magazines, though. Come on, man. That's what it was all about when it came to demos.
Why are you telling your age, fam? You telling your age? You don't care.
Work it out.
You don't care. People know you 40. You don't care.
I'm 40. Unbelievable.
Damn, you want to tell his social security number too? God,
I'm just saying he told on himself talking about demo disc and the thing.
I remember the demo disc.
I obviously don't know what that is because I'm so damn young. I don't know what he's talking about.
Get out, you child. Go play Call of Duty. Leave us alone.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're that young, then you're sitting around just playing Minecraft. Like that's all you do.
Real talk. Real talk. The king of indies himself, which honestly, man, with Rand here, bruh, I'm a little intimidated by calling myself the king of indies, man. Rand is like legit. I know there's other people out there, but my circle is pretty small of people I pay attention to. So he's the only one in my circle that I really consider that could give me a run for my money when it comes to actual love for indies and actually playing these games, actually supporting these indie developers. So he's the only one I feel like can give me a run for my money. But I'm still gonna hold this crown tonight, Rand. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna hold it tonight. So the king of indies himself, I have been playing that Wonder Boy. I've been playing that. I'm probably like halfway through it. It's not a long game from what I can tell. I think I don't want to spoil anything, but there's only like 6 bosses. But so I'm like halfway through it or whatever. But I'm really, really enjoying that game. I have been playing a hell of a lot of Nier Automata. I've been playing a hell of a lot of it. I know Persona, he platinumed that game within a week. I don't know what this man was doing, but this man, a week after release, I swear on Twitter, okay, I got the platinum for Nier. I'm out of here. Like, what? What? You got the platinum for Nier already? You have to play that.
Plot in a week too.
No. The thing with Nier though, you have to play it like 6 times.
3 times.
Oh, do you only have to play it 3 to get the platinum?
Yes.
Okay, because there's like 5 endings. So
yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you sat here and played the like 5 or 6 playthroughs.
You only have to play it 3 times.
Okay. You're the expert. You got the platinum. I believe you. But I was shocked, man. I'm like, man, this man here, he's not playing. But
yeah,
I'm definitely thoroughly enjoying Nier. I cannot let it go right now. If you guys have not played Nier, I definitely recommend everybody picking it up. A lot of people are thrown off by this game, but I really think this game is potential game of the year material. It's the type of game I keep praising this game. People get tired of me praising it, but it's the type of game that has basically caught like my full attention. Like I can't think about anything else, and it's rarely a game that will do that to me. So it's really all I've been playing besides Wonder Boy, honestly. So yeah, give Nier Automata a chance, everybody. So let me see. Other than that, that's really all I've been playing. I want to give the PlayStation Nation heads up on some notable games that have released this week. What Remains of Edith Finch is out right now. Has anybody picked that up on the panel?
Not yet, but it looks really good.
It looks really good, like a really intense mystery game. And they've been talking about this game for a long time, like advertising the game for a long time. So it's finally released today. So for those of you who are interested in mystery games and who actually developed this game, is it the same people that made Everybody Gone to the Rapture?
I don't recall. Give me a second.
What's the game we're talking about? Edith Finch?
Edith Finch.
No, I don't think so. I think
Okay.
that made Everybody's Going to the Rapture. Was it that Santa Monica?
I'm not sure.
Everybody's Gone to the Rapture's Chinese Room.
Yeah.
They also made Dear Esther.
No, it's not. The dove is Giant Sparrow.
Okay. Well, it's very similar type of games. And there's a game called The Deer God that has released on PS4, which was on Xbox for a while. This game, it's basically about a deer. It's a platformer. It's about a deer or whatever. And it looks pretty cool, honestly. And everybody keeps telling me the game is trash. Rand, did you play this game?
The game's trash. Stay
What?
away.
Really?
Yes.
Why? It looks cool as hell, dog. I
mean, no, it does look cool. Like, if you just watch a trailer, if you just see it, it kind of looks like cool. But the gameplay, not so much. It's a bad game.
Oh, man. That's disappointing, dog. I was like, I'm about to buy this game.
Dude, do not spend your money on that game.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We got it for free, and I feel like I still got ripped off.
Okay. Okay, man, that's disappointing. All right, whatever. I'm not gonna buy it. I don't want to be disappointed, man. All right, so next up, Dragon Quest Heroes 2 is out. Everybody that's interested in the Dragon Quest games, that is out right now. My man Persona, are you on that?
Yes, of course. Yes. You know this, man. Of course, I'm on that. I played the hell out of the first one. Loved the first one. The second one, I'm just as excited. I started it up yesterday, and I'm gonna get the platinum in this one for sure. And I'm definitely excited. They definitely fixed a lot of stuff too, so I'm really excited to jump in and really see how different it is compared to the first one.
That's what's up. It looks pretty dope. There's a demo out for it right now if you guys want to try it out. I always love when they put demos out. It's so refreshing when publishers do that. Little Nightmares is out as well. If you like games like Limbo and the other game that's like Limbo, made by the same people, forgot the name of it. Inside, yeah. So if you like games like that, Little Nightmares, you'll enjoy that. Outlast 2 is out, which Rand has played. What do you think about the game so far, Rand? It's a peep.
I gave it a 9 on my review, and that's the highest I've rated a game this year.
Oh, nice.
So we'll see. I mean, I haven't played the single player of Mass Effect, but I don't, judging from what everybody thinks of Mass Effect, I don't think I'm going to give that game a 9. It was like my two favorite games this year are Outlast 2 and Resident Evil 7. And I feel like Outlast 2 is a little bit better because Resident Evil 7 kind of nosedived at the end. The last third of that game wasn't as good as the first 2/3, whereas I felt Outlast 2 got continuously better as it went. And of course, I mean, I haven't played any of the PlayStation games like Horizon or Nier or Neo or any of that stuff. So,
you got a PlayStation?
No, I do not have a PlayStation.
The Inner Circle is gonna buy you a PlayStation. Just let Cal know that I said it, and he's gonna go ahead and do it. Okay.
Yes, I don't even have a single trophy, dude. So I can't be on that trophy life. I don't have any trophy.
I'm sure you can get on that trophy life, fam. I'm sure you can. I'm sure it should be easy for you to get acclimated into that life. A man of your talents, Rand? Oh, come on, you fit right in.
Well, I mean, there are games I want to play, like Last of Us. Obviously, is like the number one.
Yeah,
like, that game looks incredible, and the Uncharted series. I haven't played. Like, it's funny because I always tell this story, but I was a PlayStation fanboy before the PS3. Like, the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 were my jam. And then Sony decided they were going to sell a system for $600, and I was just not down with that.
He's like, I'm out.
I'll see you guys later. And then I fell in love with Halo. Halo 2, and then I fell in love with achievements, and yeah, well,
Yeah.
you know how the rest goes.
The rest is history. I know you got a similar story to me. That's kind of what happened to me, and I did fall in love with achievements at one time in my life on the Xbox 360. Man, it's like I had to get a certain percentage, if not complete the game, or I couldn't move on. Like I was just really heavy into it for a little while. So I understand your plight for sure. All right, and then also we got Shovel Knight: Spectre of Torment is coming to the PS4 today. It should have dropped today. I'm actually gonna pick that one up. I'm definitely gonna pick that one up. I gotta play through that because I love Shovel Knight. And then Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. I'm gonna pass on that. I don't want to play no first person shooter right now. But is anybody getting Sniper Ghost Warrior at all?
Maybe.
No, but I did hear.
Go ahead.
Are there issues with the game? Like I heard that they're on the PlayStation, the loading times are like absurd.
Oh, really? They had a beta out for it on PC, I think. I don't know if they had one on PS4 or not.
Yeah.
I heard that it takes 5 minutes to load the game.
Yeah.
5 minutes to just load the game.
Yeah, it's like timed, like 5 minutes, literally. Like to load into the game, it takes 5 minutes.
Is that just on PlayStation or all platforms?
I don't know if that's on all platforms or not.
What I read specified PlayStation, but I can't be for certain.
Damn. That sucks. But yeah, I wanted to worry about that because I'm not getting that trash, that extra long load time trash out of my face with that crap. See, that's one thing about me, guys. I have a high standard of video games. I don't play just trash. I only play perfection. You understand me? So, this coming from the guy that was about to pick up that Deer God though. Like I was legit about to buy that game, bro. Until
Dear God, man, what's wrong with you?
Okay, Chris, get out of here.
See ya.
Chris is like 3 a.m. by him. He's going to bed. So let's get into these news topics and all that good stuff. Some good old fashioned PlayStation news out there because we know everybody on this channel is a hardcore, diehard PlayStation fan, and we know you are ready to hear about this greatness. Can I get an amen?
Hallelujah.
No? Amen.
Amen.
All right, let's do this.
Amen.
Let's do this. So first and foremost, if you guys didn't know, the Road to Greatness tour is back. This is basically when PlayStation gets this big old truck, puts a bunch of games in it, and lands in your town and lets you experience greatness firsthand. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's back. It's running now till November. And, it's not coming to Texas. That's where I live. Please don't come stalk me. Everybody, I know I got a lot of fans out there. But it's not coming to Texas, which I'm definitely disappointed in. But some of the cities it is coming to is Silicon Valley, California, Lake Charles, Louisiana. It is coming to Oklahoma, which is close by me. And it's coming to a few other cities. If you want to see all the tour dates and the games, it's actually on the PlayStation blog right now. But I actually think this is something really cool that Sony does do, for the fans and also to promote, the PlayStation 4 and its games out there, firsthand out in the public. What they do is they have the van or the truck parked in front of these like live events and things like that, just things that are going on in the city already. And so everybody can just come up, just having a good time, whatever event they're at, and just come up and just experience, PlayStation games. So it's really cool that they do this. I think it's like the second year they've done it and stuff like that. So you guys excited for this? You guys, if it comes to your city, would you go? What do y'all think? Anybody, I don't care.
I would not go, even if it came to the city.
Ryan, why are you hating?
I'm not. I just find the whole. We're gonna come in a semi just kind of lame. I guess.
What?
Lame. Like the PlayStation experience, the one you got that happens in December, I think is really really cool and a good way to like showcase, what PlayStation has to offer for their fans and everything. I just kind of feel like somebody at marketing's like, okay, greatness is the waste their tagline. Let's go on a tour of the country in a semi, and we can call it Road to Greatness. I just feel like it's something marketing cooked up but didn't really think through.
Oh man,
I don't know.
They're going to be big fans of the Coca-Cola Christmas truck. That's probably what it is, and they thought, "Damn, that's a good idea. We'll follow that up." So.
No, I agree with you on that. I don't necessarily. I mean, I personally wouldn't go if it was in my city for that same reason. Like, I don't find going into a tractor trailer to play video games relatively amusing. Like, I don't find that an appealing prospect, especially if the weather is really warm outside. I feel like that's just like asking for trouble. But also, I agree. I don't think. I think it's a marketing ploy, and it's a good one for them. I mean, it seems to be working for them, which is the only reason why they continue to do it. But at the same time, I don't necessarily think it's worth it. Like, I can play the PlayStation from the comfort of my office. Like,
you guys sound old and disgruntled right now. Let me know in the chat that I'm not alone here. Let me know in the chat I'm not alone here, that you guys would actually go to this thing. Like, this man Kev just said, well, it may be hot, and dude, come on, these are video games in a semi. You guys never been on a party bus or anything like that?
I was just about to say that, though. I was about to say that, like, there's different types of here. They have like party buses and stuff like that people do, but like they come and pick you up and like they drive around and you party on the bus. So like something like this, something like if it came to my city, I would go. But I guess I'm the odd one out the group.
You and me both, brother.
It sounds dope, like because the PlayStation experience, I've been there a couple times. It's definitely dope. But I feel with the whole world tour thing, that's kind of more of that's a bit more personal because it's like, it's in my city. This is something that's part of me. Something that I want to do. So I like it. I like the idea of it. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I like the idea of it. I personally just wouldn't go, but that's also because I've been like 50 years old since I was 10. So, like,
okay, so what games do these people get to play if they go? Is there like Xbox did a similar thing? They back before the launch of Xbox One, they kind of had like trucks that would go to places, and you could play like Killer Instinct or Rise early, which was interesting because you could get a chance to play Xbox One before anybody else, play new games before anybody else. So, but when we were talking about what games were included in this, it doesn't really seem like it's worth going. I mean, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One have been out for 4 years now. Everybody knows what they are. It's not really nothing special. If this was a PS5 tour, like PS5's coming to town and it's your first chance to get your hands on with the PS5 and some new games that nobody else has played, then that would be really interesting. But it's like the game. Read off the list of games. Let's see if they're lining up.
Let me see some of the. I'll just give you guys some of the games. I'm gonna go ahead and say they're not lining up in my opinion. But okay, so far we have Disc Jam that will be available. Okay. Hold on to your seats. Hold on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen. We have Injustice 2. That will be there. Okay. We have Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for this one. We have Gang Beast. Gang Beast. I repeat, Gang Beast.
I think I'm gonna have to pull back, Brian.
No, Persona. We're not done yet. We're not done yet, Persona. We are not done yet. Do not pull back your recommendation for this. Your support for it. We have Farpoint. Farpoint will be there, ladies and gentlemen. The definitive VR experience will be here. And then, of course, everybody loves this game. Let's not fake like we don't. There's Madden 17, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna pull back my answer. Yeah.
But hey, there'll be other games that are not listed on here. They assure you there'll be some games that are not released and things like that will be.
Well, yeah, that is true because I remember seeing one of the World Tour videos. I think the guy was in Iowa or somewhere like that, and the PlayStation truck came to his town, and they played Horizon. And they played a couple other games. They did play like unreleased titles, demos and stuff there.
Yeah, so they do stuff like that. But I think the point of it is just to stay engaged, with the public and just give a little fan service. I really think that's all it is. Honestly, I don't think it's something that's supposed to draw a lot of people in or necessarily bring in a lot of like advertising or anything like that. I just think it's just fan service, just saying, hey, we appreciate you guys. It's good PR. It's like, hey, here's good guy PlayStation going out to, meet with the public, let them play their games and, just keep it in the hearts and the minds of the people, just the general public, It's campaigning. It's just campaigning, really. That's all I feel like it is. So
yeah, and that's why I personally like the idea of it. I just would not attend. But I think it's a great way to engage with your community in a different way. There are only so many ways you can engage with a particular set of people, and bringing them together over the central thing that they care about. Clearly, in that scenario with the PlayStation, being able to interact with your fans that way, I think, is a great way to do fan service.
Definitely. I want to give a shout out to someone in the chat. I want to give a shout out to Hector. Hector in the chat, he donated some money to the Tick cause. So we definitely appreciate you, good sir. Appreciate everybody that does donate and appreciates what we do to that capacity. So shout out to Hector out there. Make sure you guys hit the like button. We do appreciate that as well. Those of you who are broke, who can't give us money, we appreciate if you hit that like button. That's just as good, maybe not just as good, but almost as good. We appreciate that. And let me stop, man. You guys all appreciate it. We love you, just like Tupac says. You are appreciated. So next, anybody else want to talk about the road to greatness? Did everybody get their thoughts in on that?
They don't have it in the UK, so I have no.
I'm about to say, yeah, they're not bringing it to the UK.
What game is this?
The Road to Greatness tour. They're not bringing it to the UK.
Yeah. Strictly America.
Strictly America.
Only at the border.
Only in Trump's America will you have things like this, sir. So next up, a very, very interesting news story I did see. Basically, Blue Point Games, they are developing a PlayStation Classic game that is quote unquote aimed to please the masses. So this is very, very interesting because there are a lot of PlayStation Classic games that they could revisit. They could either remake or remaster. And this is supposed to be something that everybody has been asking for. So they didn't give any hints of what it could be. They in the article, they were kind of like guessing, games like Spyro the Dragon and things like that. They were kind of guessing. They even stated maybe Shenmue, the original Shenmue games. They could be bringing back a remake of that or something to that degree, even though Shenmue isn't technically a PlayStation classic. So I want to get the panel, like, just what do you guys think that this possibly could be? What do you think it could be? And then also, what do you hope it would be, if anything at all? Let me start with Persona, the biggest PlayStation fanboy we got here tonight.
I think it could be Legend of Dragoon because
okay,
yep, because people have been asking for that for years upon years upon years. In the game that I would want, Jak and Daxter.
Jak and Daxter? Why? We played that the hell out of that already.
It's one of my favorite series.
But we have remastered that like 3 times already.
No, we haven't.
We had a
not on this gen. I'm saying like a remake, redo the games for this gen.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what they did with Crash. So not Crash. What game is that? That's doing Crash, right?
They did not Blue Point didn't do with Crash, but yeah.
No, they did what's that? They did Uncharted Collection, I think.
Yeah, they did. Blue Point did Uncharted Collection. You're right.
Yeah,
so you want a Jak and Daxter like
remake
Uncharted Collection. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, like get the treatment like Crash did.
I got you.
Redo that from the ground up the same way Ratchet and Clank was done.
So you want Jak and Daxter 4K 60 on your Pro. That's what you want.
Yes,
that's what you want. Okay.
Facts.
Okay, I got you. I feel you on that. Okay. So you think Legend of Lagoon, and then you want Jak and Daxter remake.
Legend of Dragon, yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Damn. All right. That's legit. British Beef. What do you think it could be, and what do you want to see come back?
I think it might be Twisted Metal. That's a possibility for them. As for what I would like, I mean, they're already doing the fan service with me already with Parappa and Crash Bandicoot and Wipeout as well. So for me, in that sense, there's not actually much more I'd want, unless they can bring out like an awesome, like old school Tony Hawk. That would be pretty cool. I don't know whether that's related to them at all. I think that's Activision though, so we're not going to be them. Yeah, so it's a shame, but I don't know. They've got plenty of options, so it'd be interesting to see what it is.
Okay, that's not bad. I mean, I wouldn't want any of those games, but hey, that's your opinion.
So it is. I'm going to keep it.
All right, Rand. I know Rand was on the PS1, PS2, so he's got some deep PlayStation knowledge. So, what do you want, and what do you think it could be, sir?
What would I want? Well, my favorite PS2 game is Shadow of the Colossus. So
Shadow of the Colossus. Oh, nice. Good selection.
So like if you were to remaster that, that'd be pretty sweet. Although I think they already did. I don't know what could they be doing, like one of the older SOCOM games, maybe. Bringing back SOCOM, possibly. I don't, people have been asking about SOCOM for a while.
Yes, that's true. That's like the only thing on this list that I've heard so far that people really have been asking for a lot.
Yeah, Dwayne Luster in the chat also said SOCOM or Siphon Filter.
Oh yeah, Siphon Filter too. A lot of people have asked for that. They got petitions out for those games, so I could see SOCOM for sure. Yeah. What else? What else you got, Rand?
Yeah, that's the first thing that kind of comes. Like Siphon Filter would be cool. SOCOM would be interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, they kind of did Crash, right? So it's like that's taken care of. Shenmue is being done, so that's taken care of. Parappa the Rapper's back. Twisted Metal kind of had a resurgence, so it's like I don't know if they go back and do that. What does Bluepoint specialize in? Like, what kind of games do they port or make?
Yeah, like Uncharted, the Uncharted collection, they did that. Before that, I'm not sure, but I know they do specialize. They really do specialize in remakes and remasters. That's one of the things they do as a company. But Uncharted is the one I know them for, honestly, and they did really great job. They did a really great job with that. So, amazing job with it.
They did Gravity Rush remastered as well, and the Metal Gear Solid HD collection, and the God of War collection as well.
Okay, so they are a remaster remake studio.
And actually, interestingly, they did do the Shadow of Colossus collection as well. So
on PS3?
I believe so, yes.
But Ram wants that thing in 4K 60. That's what Ram wants on the Pro, because the Pro is the most underpowered console in the world, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm pretty sure it can run Shadow Colossus at 4K 60.
Hey man, Shadow Colossus is an all-time classic.
Yo, it is. It definitely is.
Really good.
That was my last game on PlayStation 2 I played, by the way, was Shadow of the Colossus before I switched.
Before you made that switch for the PS3.
That's my parting memory of PlayStation is Shadow of the Colossus. I guess there's probably no better game to go out on, right?
On the PS2? No, there's probably not, sir. I would have to agree with you on that one. Yeah, before the PS3 ruined your perception of PlayStation altogether to this very day.
Yep. And they were like, hey, historical battles. Look, fight this giant enemy crab and flip it over on its belly for massive damage. $600. No thanks.
Yo, what up? What's good, everybody joining? Appreciate you guys. Kev, what do you think, man? What are you looking forward? I mean, not looking forward to, but what game you think will be coming and what do you hope will be coming?
I honestly don't know, and I couldn't even guess. I mean, even after looking at Bluepoint's lineup of remakes, like there's no like consistent theme really. But when Chris said Twisted Metal, I would really like a new Twisted Metal. It's a really good game. Those are really good games.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this for me. I don't know. I mean, I think maybe something like Spyro the Dragon. A lot of people want that to come back, just like they wanted Crash to come back. I think it was like equal measure as far as demand goes. So I could see them possibly, being the game. As far as like wanting, I don't really want any old game to come back. I don't have like a strong desire. I mean, seeing a game like Jak and Daxter, in 4K 60 or whatever, that'd be cool, I guess. But like, as far as like a deep desire and wanting an old game, I mean, I don't. And the only reason why I say that is because I'm like swamped and enthralled with the games, that are out right now and coming. So I couldn't even get that in my head or fit time for stuff like that. So, I mean, it's cool for people that really want those old games, I guess, but I think you should leave the past in the past, you know, for the most part, you know. But hey, Blue Point, that's all they do, really. So, I mean, really, what else are they gonna do? I mean, if they don't have that, they ain't got no jobs. So, you know, it is what it is. Oh, yo, what is good? We got another guest that has just joined us, ladies and gentlemen. This is BG. Some of you may know him, aka Mr. Weapon Wheel. What's good, sir?
What's going on, everybody?
So I definitely we're not gonna recap the whole show for you, BG, thus far, but I do want to recap this last news story and get your thoughts on it. So Blue Point, we found out they're developing a PlayStation Classic game that is supposed to be aimed to please the masses. So I want to know if there's any game that you feel like you would want to come back from like the old gen.
Oh man, I don't know, because they've done a few already, and most of them have been like adventure or platforming games. I mean, there's not really much that I personally want. It's a remaster they're working on, right?
It could be a remaster or a remake. They're just like speculating right now, so it could be either or.
I mean, I wouldn't mind a remake of Siphon Filter.
Yeah, Rand, or I think Chris mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Rand also mentioned one that I know you've been looking forward to or hoping for was like SOCOM. He mentioned that could be like a possible like remake. But you want a new SOCOM game, if I remember right from like your old videos. Like you want a new one, right? BG, you there?
You're talking about me. I thought you were talking about somebody else. I kind of gave up on the SOCOM movement. Sony has pretty much made it clear, like even with all the demand, that the community has shown, that they're like, nah, we're not. We just don't see the support, even though the support is. I mean, it's clear because y'all are so annoyed about hearing about SOCOM more than any other game. That proves that the support for it is there, since you've been annoyed to death that you had to answer to it. But they don't see it as a worthwhile investment. So, but it would be nice. I mean, yeah, a remake would be good. But I don't know. SOCOM is just one of those games that might not exactly translate well. It won't be the SOCOM that we knew it as. It doesn't translate like the old formula of SOCOM, how like SOCOM 2 was. It doesn't really translate well to if you just remastered it exactly how it was. So it would be a remake would probably be needed.
Not only that, but I think like with SOCOM is so strategic and tactical, and I think a lot of people have been conditioned to the whole Call of Duty formula that a game like that wouldn't appeal to a very large majority. It would only appeal to the hardcore audience of people that really want it. So
yeah, and then Blue Point, I mean, like y'all mentioned before, they kind of like only make platformers and things like that and action adventure games. Like, I mean, I guess they could do like a SOCOM. I'm not gonna say like they're not talented to that aspect or to that extent, but I don't know. I don't see them actually doing a SOCOM game. I'm banking on Spyro. That's what I'm banking on. I'm banking on Spyro. That's what they're gonna do.
Isn't Spyro owned by Activision, or does Sony still own that?
Activision owns that.
Activision. Yeah, but a deal can be made. We know this. That's what they did with Crash. So it's not impossible just because Activision got their death grip on it.
But people have been asking for Crash forever, though.
They've been asking for Spyro.
Nah, they haven't been. Spyro. Yeah, nobody's been asking for Spyro.
Am I the only one? Am I the only one in America asking for Spyro?
Spyro's Ripto's Rage is probably one of my favorite platformers ever made, but like it's still not something like, oh yeah, I definitely want to play that again. But I beat, like back when I had them, I beat all of those Spyros like at least twice each. So I'm talking about the original ones, not after Activision got their dirty fingers on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. All right, so we got the consensus. We don't give a damn about no old games, basically what everybody's trying to say. It's all good. It's all good. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this show right here, man. So basically, like I was saying earlier, this show is a bit of a selfish show for me because this is an off week. We weren't really supposed to do a show today, but I saw some stuff. I'm not gonna say I got triggered, but I saw some stuff that was pretty concerning, on the internet. regarding Sony's marketing strategy, Scorpio, and things like that. And so I kind of wanted to get some level-headed gamers in here and talk about it today. You know what I'm saying? So basically, we all know marketing as far as Sony's marketing goes. This holiday season, they got the game on lock. When it comes to third party, they got Destiny 2, they got Call of Duty, they got Red Dead 2, they got Battlefront 2. So a lot of people, mainly a lot of Xbox gamers, are stating that this is crooked. Like, this is bad for business, and they can't believe Sony is doing this. And people are like in shock. You know what I'm saying? It's to the point where a lot of people are really angered by how Sony has a death grip on all the great third parties this holiday season. So my thing is, this ain't nothing new. This really ain't nothing new. I don't know why everybody's so shocked and angered over this. But I want to get everybody's perspective on it. Like, I want to know, do you guys really feel like this deserves this much outrage? And should people really be this concerned about this, or what? So I'm gonna start with BG, because the name starts with a B. Let me start with BG, man. What do you think, man? What is going on out here?
I think it's just business. It almost feels like a third party monopoly. Because they have control of even Red Dead. When I sat back and look at it, and I'm like, don't they have Battlefront also?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't even know this was like possible. Like, to, not that it was impossible. It's just that, like, the chances of them getting like 5 major fall game marketing rights. How is that? I don't know how that's even possible when there's competition. It's like, because did Microsoft not? And I know Phil Spencer is not as interested in those as Microsoft was before, but I'm like, nobody stepped in and tried to get not one of those from Sony. Like, I just don't know how that happens. But it's business. I don't think it's marketing. I don't think most of those games have any exclusive gear or content. I'm not sure, but
yeah. So there's exclusive content for Red Dead. We don't got no details on that yet. And then
it'll be a hat. It'll be a hat for your multiplayer character.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I doubt Red Dead's anything serious. I think I think Call of Duty, what is it, like 30 days earlier?
The same thing. Exactly the same
or
thing.
something like that. I don't think it's anything relevant.
Well, the Destiny stuff is pretty egregious in my opinion.
What is it, raids?
It's probably gonna be exactly what it was last time. It's gonna be some exotic weapons and armor and a strike. That'll be exclusive to PlayStation.
It's also gonna be a raid.
Okay.
No, there's zero chance it'll be a raid.
Yeah, there's absolutely zero.
Was it a raid last year?
It wasn't, but
it was a strike.
Oh, okay.
It's always been a strike. Normally it's 1 or 2 exotic weapons, a strike, and a multiplayer map.
Yeah, it'd be like multiplayer map, a strike, and some weapons. There's no chance. There's zero. Like, I'll state that right now. I'll bet you $50 that is not a raid.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
There's no way it could be a raid. Just because of the amount of time it takes them to build a raid, they wouldn't sit there and build 2 and then say, here's one exclusive one. Because you can't ship out the game and say Xbox players get no raid. Like, that's impossible. So
they technically could, but I'm just saying, like,
if they could, then Bungie is shooting themselves in the face. Because, like, there's no way anybody would purchase that game if that were the case.
But as far as like, they're obviously not breaking any rules. There's no laws against like how many marketing deals you can make. So, it's business. Power comes with being, the market leader. I would say it's it makes Sony a little bit too comfortable, because they're comfortable doing like power plays, like marketing stuff. Like Microsoft, they're coming up with other stuff like the digital games refund, and then they just did something. I can't remember what it is, because they're thinking like, we're losing obviously in sales, so what else can we do to increase our performance? So they're doing everything else, and Sony is making power plays. So it's kind of they're a little bit too comfortable.
They would kind of stupid not to, right? Like, if they're in the position to do so, why not go for it? Now, the only thing I don't agree with is like the 1-year time DLC for Destiny. I don't agree with that. I think that's way too long.
It's a year?
Yeah, it's a year.
Jesus
Actually,
Christ.
it's a year. It's a year plus technically.
Yeah.
The wording in the campaign says something like at least up until fall 2017.
Why would you want to keep content away from players for a whole year though? Like
That's the thing.
Because the Destiny stuff is like, that's why I said it's like, look, the Call of Duty thing, it's your typical Call of Duty deal. Microsoft did it last time. You're just basically given the opportunity of giving Call of Duty your money earlier than I can give my money to them, right? Everybody gets the same content at the same price. But the Destiny stuff is a little bit different because, like, if me and BG go to the store and he gets a PlayStation version, I get the Xbox version, he's literally getting more content for his money. And I think that's kind of wrong to a certain degree. Like, I have no problem with the other deals, like Call of Duty stuff, because it's just like DLC and whatever. But the Destiny stuff is weird. Like, they spent a lot of money on that. There's still exclusive stuff on PlayStation for the Taken King that hasn't come to Xbox yet. It's been 2 years.
Well, and that's why I said like that wording. It's the way they word it in their like marketing materials, where it's like until at least whatever. So then, if once they get to that at least point, if they want to extend that, then they can. And I'm sure Sony paid money to make sure that that was extended.
Oh yeah, they paid through the teeth because Microsoft. If you notice, like Microsoft has done their stuff with Major Nelson. They've done videos on Battlefront 2. They've even done videos about Red Dead 2 and Call of Duty. They've done nothing for Destiny. I don't think they're even allowed to mention Destiny.
They're not. It's just like last year. It's exactly the same. Well, 2 years ago, whatever. It's exactly the same. They're not allowed to even mention it. They can't market it to any extent.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I mean, I've seen Major Nelson post things on Twitter about Destiny coming out and things like that. I just don't think that they're willing to put the time in if there's no, benefit to them. Like, I wouldn't waste my time peddling Destiny 2 if there was no exclusive content for me to peddle to somebody, as opposed to, another game where, like with Battlefield 1, they've got their marketing deal with Microsoft. So I peddle that because we spent money on that marketing.
I mean, can I go as everybody?
Yeah, go ahead. Jump in. Do what you feel, my brother.
So it's clear that some of you may have memory loss. Because these third-party deals that you're seeing on Sony, Xbox was doing majority of last gen with many games. This gen, Tomb Raider was a year-long exclusive. Dead Rising 4 is an exclusive for God knows how long until it comes to PlayStation. Last gen, they had Call of Duty, they had the sports deals, they had Mass Effect 1 and 2. Full games were exclusive to Xbox. PlayStation didn't get Mass Effect until Mass Effect 3.
No, Mass Effect 1 was the exclusive. They had Mass Effect 2 on the PlayStation.
Well, Mass Effect is because that was like...
And then Skyrim, there was exclusive DLC for that. Grand Theft Auto 4, there was exclusive DLC for that. These exclusive deals that you're seeing on PlayStation, Xbox was doing majority of last gen with a lot of different games. I think with a lot of people, what they're feeling is not necessarily anger because it's because of, they're not feeling anger because it's third-party deals happening. They're feeling anger because it was taken away from their favorite platform. Because a lot of these deals have always been happening. Business is business, and like I said, with all these companies, they're here to make money. Sony is a business first, and then a gaming company. And as a business, you want to market and have your product out in as many homes as possible. How do you do that? You create the illusion that games that most people will want to play can only be played on your console. So hey, if this is what Sony's doing to sell more PlayStation 4s and PlayStation 4 Pros or whatever it may be, so be it. But for the folks that feel some type of way about it, let's not play like, these third-party deals are the devil now because they're taken away from your favorite platform.
Well,
Go ahead, PG.
Like the Tomb Raider situation is different, because Microsoft actually funded Tomb Raider. Like the thing with Destiny is this is a third party marketing deal. Tomb Raider actually Microsoft actually paid for that, and for there to be like equal development like with Destiny, and the other platform has to wait a whole year. There was nothing like that. Like you may have to wait a whole year for a game, but like as far as I can remember, there's maybe little to ever been like a game I could think of where you had to wait a whole year for content. That's kind of absurd.
I've never heard of that either.
And like even last generation, like when Microsoft had the had the grip on on a lot of third party, Microsoft, as far as I know, never had like 4 or 5 marketing rights to major games. Like they had Call of Duty, they would have another one. But to
sports titles.
Yeah, but to have Red Dead Redemption, Battlefront, Call of Duty, those are like the biggest games you can fathom. Microsoft didn't have nothing like that last gen, like in combination. Like this is unprecedented right there. We all know what Microsoft did last generation, but the level of games that Sony has it in right now, it's unprecedented.
It sounds like opportunity.
It's business, I mean, I'm pretty sure the offer was. I'm pretty sure the offer was on the table equally. Right now, the PlayStation 4 is the majority when it comes to sales. So I'm pretty sure that is factored in to any type of deal that's being made with anything. Now, again, it goes back to what I said. It's competition, it's business. As far as the third-party deals, that's how we're going now. As far as the year-long DLC stuff, that may be a little excessive, and that may be, them Sony, kind of getting big-headed. But as far as the deal being scooped up and the third-party rights and stuff like that, as far as I see that as business.
I think that's more on Activision even allowing that to occur. I mean, if Sony's gonna, if it's gonna be like put like out there as a possibility, why not go for it? Even though I don't agree with it, but on Sony's part, why not go for it? It only benefits them at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to point out. Like people are saying, "Oh, Sony this, Sony that, whatever." Okay, fine, but they're only one factor in the equation here. Like it's not like Sony is just going up to people and saying, "We're taking this exclusivity of whatever DLC, deal with it." These other developers are working and other publishers are working with Sony. So I don't think the if you want to sit there and cast blame, which I don't think you should, this is again solely business. But if you want to cast a blame, some blame should be sent toward Activision. Some blame should be sent toward EA. Like you can't just blindly say because Sony is the first party in control here that you can't sit there and give sole blame to them.
No, I agree, and let me ask this. Go ahead, Rand. And then I'm gonna ask.
Well, I was just gonna say. Someone asked me about this earlier, and I says business is business, man. Like, look, everybody knows Microsoft has a system to sell this holiday. They have a Scorpio, right? They want to show off how it's going to be more powerful, and all that things. And Sony's smart. Like, they know that third parties, they know as well as anybody else that third parties sell consoles these days, right? It's not necessarily exclusives anymore. It's the big multiplats. So what did Sony do to counteract Microsoft trying to get out the message of Scorpio? They went and they got the third-party deals for the 4 biggest games of this year, which will, kind of limit Microsoft and how they can position Scorpio as the best way to play. However, the question has to be asked, are these moves even necessary? Because everybody knows these games are still coming to Xbox. It's not like the first Destiny where the marketing was so... Like, I knew people who only thought it was coming to PlayStation just because of the way the marketing is. But everybody knows all 4 of these games are coming to Xbox. So you have to wonder how effective that marketing could have, like, if those marketing dollars could have been used elsewhere to do different things. I don't know. There's allocated budgets for all these different things, and I just wonder I know they do it because it is effective, but I wonder if Sony could have done something different or a different way. Because when you're funding all those 4 games, but then you also have your own games, are they going to short shrift Gran Turismo Sport? Are they going to short shift God of War when it comes out because they don't have the advertising budget because it costs $30 million to advertise with Red Dead 2?
No, because those games sell themselves. Games like that, like Gran Turismo and God of War, you know, folks are hype off that. Folks are still talking about or hype off that just off of what they saw at E3 last year. You know, games like Gran Turismo and Uncharted and God of War, those type of games are considered classics on the PlayStation brand. You know, they sell themselves. You know, all you have to say is, look, God of War is coming out such and such time. That word spreads like wildfire, and there you go. Now, with the titles, like the third-party deals with what they're doing with Battlefront and things like that, again, yes, Xbox is coming out with a brand new console, and it does feel like Xbox did drop the ball because this has been a perfect time for you to scoop up at least, you know, Battlefront and something else and kind of be like, hey, look, you know, we got the Scorpio bundle with the Battlefront 2 played at 4K 60 most powerful car. You know, it'd have been perfect to do that. But I personally, and, you know, this is just me saying this, I could be completely wrong, but I think a lot of their budget went into building the Scorpio. And that's why you're not seeing as much being pumped out from them, because that budget, they got to kind of
It takes money to
make their choices. Yeah.
It takes money to build the beast.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, that budget could have went into, you know, making an Elite 2 controller and the Scorpio. And, you know, that budget is huge. But like, you know, this is the start of a new gen, technically.
I think most people they're upset really over the Destiny content, understandably so, whatever. So, like, I mean, honestly, I think gamers, they just really need to start speaking like from their pocketbooks. I mean, because the first Destiny was a huge success with the timed exclusive deal and everything. It was a huge success. So that's the reason why they're going with this again. That's the reason why Activision is willing to do it. That's the reason why Sony's jumping on it, because money talks. It sold extremely well regardless of what they did. So, like, if everybody has a problem with this, won't people speak with their pockets and just not buy Destiny? Like the Xbox gamers, I'm not recommending you guys do this. Don't get mad at me. But I'm just saying, if you got a problem with this like this, won't we just boycott Destiny? Won't you just not buy Destiny? You think that would be effective? I mean, like, I don't know what else.
Well, the only people that are mad about this are like hardcore people that pay attention to stuff. Casuals don't pay attention to none of this. They just go into the store, buy the game, and that's it. Yeah. So, you know, and that majority of people that are mad about this is not even in the double digits of percentiles when it comes to the audience of people that buy these consoles and these games. So, you know, the 200, 300 people that may be angry is a very small dent in any type of sales on any console, regardless, because at the end of the day, Destiny is still going to sell well on Xbox because it sold well on the Xbox for the first game. Yeah. Call of Duty is still going to sell well on the Xbox because it sold well on the Xbox with
I think it sold better. Warfare. It sold better last time, didn't it?
What else? Battlefront is still going to, like, it's not like these games aren't going to sell at all on the opposite console. No, that none of that is going to happen. It's still going to sell. So I personally, you know, I'm just like, it's business. That's all I can say at this point. It's business. You either get over it or you go to PC. Like, I don't know.
The Destiny one's really interesting because it is ultimately Bungie as well. And I know Activision get the kind of final say on where it heads, but it's interesting that Bungie aren't still kind of quite pally with Microsoft, that it wouldn't be the other way around. I don't know much about the history between Bungie and Microsoft. I know that they split in.
I think they split. I think they split because Microsoft wanted Bungie to continue making Halo, and I think they wanted to do something different.
Yeah.
And so they was kind of like, look, man, you know, because honestly, if they would have let them do something different, Destiny would be an exclusive.
Yeah,
and PlayStation dudes wouldn't even be seeing the light of day of that. So it's like, you know,
would there have been any bad blood?
No, because then I would have had to just get it on Xbox because, you know, I have all the consoles. So it's like,
no. I mean between Bungie and Xbox. Maybe that's a little bit of an FU to them. I don't know.
It could be.
I honestly don't think so. I mean, I think at that point it's like if you made that deal with Activision, and money hungry Bobby Kotick, he wants all the money. You sell it on every platform you can. I don't think there was any real bad blood. I think that was just stipulation of the contract that they signed for their 10-year deal.
Yeah. So let's get off Destiny's nuts right quick. And we're gonna move on real quick. So I want to discuss. I want to contrast and compare Sony's marketing strategy versus Xbox or Microsoft's marketing strategy right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is my interpretation. This is just my interpretation, guys. So correct me if I'm wrong. But my interpretation of Microsoft's strategy right now is all Scorpio. It's all Scorpio. It's all about promoting the most powerful console. And pretty much that's it. I don't really see much marketing around games, like the lack of trying to secure these third-party deals, like you guys mentioned before, exclusives. I don't see much marketing around that at all right now. Until further notice, it is all about Scorpio. On the PlayStation side of things or Sony side of things, it's quite the opposite. It's about locking down third-party deals. It's about promoting exclusive content. It's more about games. So, I personally, I don't have a problem with Microsoft promoting to that degree as far as the Scorpio, because I know they need to get the communication out there about this new console. That's very important. But I'm just hoping that they don't, mess up the messaging like they did with the Xbox One. And then also hope they don't forget, that we need to start talking about games, and we need to start talking about games pretty soon here, because all the Scorpio talk is starting to kind of like, just for me, it's starting to kind of just wear thin. I'm starting to kind of get tired of it. I've heard quite enough of Scorpio. So what do you guys think? I'm starting with Rand, because Rand be in these business meetings at Microsoft. So what's going on with their strategy compared to Sony's strategy, in your opinion? Am I just way off, or what?
I mean, no, you're not necessarily way off. I just made a video today about how Sea of Thieves should come out next year, and one of the reasons I said that is because we don't know any of any of Microsoft's release dates for any of their games at all. We assume State of Decay 2 and Crackdown 3 and Forza Motorsport 7 and Sea of Thieves are coming this year, and I'm sure we'll find out at E3. But it's kind of hard to advertise games when you don't know when those games are coming out, right? But you can advertise Scorpio, because Scorpio is the new system, and they've been doing, I think, a fairly good job at advertising that. I think the Digital Foundry stuff and the messaging coming out from that, how it's a very powerful system, how it's going to make your existing games better, and how it will be the best place to play all the games, essentially the third-party games, because Microsoft firmly believes that third-party games basically lost the gen for them. They firmly believe that one of the main reasons they lost this gen was of Digital Foundry articles about how every single multi-platform game was better on PS4, whether it was resolution or frame rate, and they were determined to never have that happen again. So they wanted a situation where Destiny 2 is either the same on Xbox or better, Call of Duty, Red Dead Redemption. They wanted that feather in the cap, so to speak. And there's also data that kind of backs up the claim that people don't really buy exclusive games very much, and they don't, especially in comparison to the third-party games. And I don't as far as E3 and if we'll get anything new at Xbox or from Xbox, like new games and stuff. I've been pretty vocal about how my expectations are pretty much at the floor.
I hope you do.
For their E3. I don't think you'll see anything new. I think what you'll see is the basic stuff you'll always see. You'll see Forza 7. You'll see Halo 6. You'll see Ori and the Blind Forest 2.
Halo 6.
But I don't think there'll be a huge shocking new IP or huge, and I mean AAA huge, because I think Microsoft has moved away from the type of games that Sony makes, the single player experiences. They're basically going after games as a service. The problem is that Microsoft is getting their ass kicked. It's one thing to be close in battle, but Sony's decimating them worldwide. They're losing 2-1, if not even more than 2-1.
Yeah.
So when you talk about marketing deals, and if you're a businessman and your goal is to sell as many copies of a game as you want, who are you going to align yourself with? You're going to align yourself with the person who provides you with the most users. And it just happens to be PlayStation. So having all 4 of those games and even more, I mean, who knows where Assassin's Creed Empires is going to line up? If I'm Ubisoft and I need to reintroduce Assassin's Creed to the world after the stinker of Unity almost destroyed the franchise, right? If I'm Ubisoft, I'm aligning myself with PlayStation. I'm letting them do the marketing. I'm aligning myself because I need that game to be a success moving forward. Now that may not happen just because maybe Sony's blown their wad on essentially all the marketing deals. Like I heard the Red Dead Redemption deal was quite expensive.
I'm sure it was. This is freaking Rockstar we're talking about here.
Yeah, so maybe it's with Microsoft. Maybe Assassin's Creed Empires with Microsoft. Maybe, like we know Microsoft wants to do marketing deals because they just have one with Shadow of War. It's not like they're not trying. It's just that when presented the option with Rockstar is going to be like, we're going to go with PlayStation. Or, with Destiny, like they're going to go with, they want to sell the most copies, basically.
Right, it makes sense.
And the potential for selling the most copies is with PlayStation. And I know people always, when I say that, people are always like, well, Microsoft can pay more. And it's like, well, I understand Microsoft as a company is worth way, 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 way more than Sony. However, Xbox as the division doesn't have the access to those funds that some people think they do. Like Phil Spencer has a boss he has to report to, right? And keep in mind, they just canceled Scalebound. So Phil had to go to his boss and tell him why it was a good idea to cancel a game that was 5 years in development and reportedly cost $50 million, and why it was a good idea to basically just burn that money. So maybe the money for marketing deals that they could have used for some of these games were basically like, if Phil goes to Terry Myerson, who's his boss, and be like, hey, I really would like to try to get the deal for one of those games, and Terry's like, yeah, well, I kind of would like to have Scalebound come out. Sorry, you're not getting the money you need. Go figure out something else, Yeah,
real talk. I told you Rand be in these meetings. Yo, BG, what do you think about Sony's marketing versus Microsoft's?
I mean, right now, it's kind of hard to judge right now because they don't have much to market right now. So I can't really, talk much. We can't really say much about their marketing scheme because they still don't have release dates. The Halo Wars marketing was really good. I'll say that. Like that was really creative. I saw the commercials on TV. It reminded me of like the old school marketing, how they how it used to be done. In the comical, like live action, joking type of way. I thought that was. Yeah. I don't know if it was effective in selling the game because it didn't sell that. I wouldn't say it sold that well, but we kind of expected that because of the type of game it was. But it was a good, a good advertisement. So I give it that. I think we still got to wait and see what they do. When they finally have release dates for their other games, because right now they don't have much to advertise. Besides I guess Scorpio.
Are you tired of hearing about Scorpio yet?
No, I just want to see, how it performs. I'm not tired of it.
Okay. All right. I when I say I'm tired of it, people get mad. I'm not like tired of Scorpio in itself. I'm just like, okay, I understand what it is. And maybe because I'm a hardcore gamer. I understand what it is. I'm good now. Let's move on. I'm just ready to move on to games. And it was very disappointing to hear you say, Rand, that we possibly won't get any, big exclusive reveals at the conference because that's what I think they really do need that. I know
they do need that
sell as much,
and I know Pal's listening. I know the last son of Planet PlayStation is listening, right?
That man loves Alien Isolation.
But honestly, I don't expect any. Like, look, Scorpio's great and all, and I'm excited for it because I do have a large backlog. I own 700 Xbox One games, right? So I'm in, and I'm obviously invested in the brand, probably more so than a lot of people, right? But I'm also looking at it like I literally know every game, or I don't look. Nobody at Microsoft is handing me every information. Let's get that off the thing. I hear things from different people around the industry.
Yeah.
You can look at all of Microsoft's first-party studios, and you know exactly what they're working on. There are no surprises. You know exactly what they're working on, and history will tell you that most of those studios don't work on 2 games at once. So you literally know what you're getting. Now the question then becomes, is Microsoft going to buy a third-party exclusive? Phil's come out and said he doesn't like doing those things, that he learned from the Tomb Raider deal. So his own word says he wouldn't. So then it becomes, is it like second-party stuff like Recore? I know Microsoft owns the IP of Recore, and they hired out a second-party studio to do it. Is it something like that? Possibly. I just have this feeling from people that I talk to and who trust me and tell me some of these things, that if you're expecting some huge AAA Megaton or new IP or like huge big new, you're going to be severely disappointed. Microsoft's E3 is going to be about Scorpio, what it can do for your games, existing and future, how it basically, they're going to talk about how it makes your first party, how that makes their first party games, bigger.
I think that's a mistake, man.
But the problem is they don't have much else to do. They don't have much else to show. That's why Scorpio, they're going to have a second, and I know a lot of people probably don't want to hear that. I know Cal probably wants to hear that. No, Phil's got like 20 games up his sleeves. The problem is they don't have the studios to make those games. They can't make the deals with any of those other third-party studios because Microsoft would have to dish out on the excess of what the PlayStation versions would make, which they just can't afford. And then all these second-party studios aren't really good anyways because look at Recore. Armature Studio, it was good first try, first effort, but like those studios do port jobs for a reason. So like when I say expect the bare minimum, that's what you should expect, and that is exactly what I'm expecting because that's I think exactly what we're getting.
Because it was quite interesting that they haven't done a pre-announcement of Scorpio before E3, which a lot of people thought they would. So they're obviously just they like Randall said, they probably don't have the games to back it up. Well, they do and they don't, if you know what I mean. They don't have anything new coming for it. But the fact that they didn't do a pre-announcement show of the Scorpio, that kind of gave me the idea that they didn't have that much to show.
So, Chris, you think that the Scorpio alone will be enough? Like, I mean, we're going into the freaking holiday season and everything. Do you think Scorpio alone and what it can do for first party, third party, all that stuff is going to be enough for Microsoft?
I think it will be down to that they'll sell it as the upresing of the games like Gears of War 4, the Forza games that they've had as well. I think they'll do a big push of the games that are kind of already out, saying that the games that you already own, we can upres them. But it's interesting. I think the art styles of some of the games that are coming out are going to be really good for the Scorpio because they'll be able to push the 4K 60 with those art styles. So I think they'll push those games like Crackdown, State of Decay, that sort of thing. And I just hope they bring out Cuphead. I'm desperate for Cuphead.
Y'all forgot about that game. So as far as Sony's marketing, Chris, do you think that they're on the right track, or like, do you feel like it's unfair? Like, what do you think about their current like marketing situation?
I think that it's really tough. I think Sony is doing the right thing by getting the third party deals. And I know people aren't liking some of the things that happen, but I mean these deals happen like in every industry. You're always going to get a sweetener to go and buy it from a certain place or certain machine, etc., etc. So I like what they're doing. I think they need to keep the games coming. I mean, they kind of set their stall out with the PlayStation Pro. That's what they've got to do. They've got to keep pushing those games.
I think Sony. I think like everything they do now is like the response of like a hurt company. Like I think they still have nightmares about the PS3.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all saw that retweet by what's his name, dude that does a lot of the puts out a lot of the statistics of profits of the companies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he showed the chart of like since for Sony's consoles since '96. And just by looking at it, you could tell which one was the PS3 because it was just all red, no profits, just debt, and like damn near bankruptcy. And like I think they still have nightmares about that, and they're afraid to let up on the gas because they're like, yo, we were doing horrible then, so now they're just doing everything to like forget the early PS3 days and everything to get to stay away from that even possibly happening again and trying to like make up for it. I think they're trying to make up for everything with the PS3.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you think they're going to announce the PS5?
No time soon. 2021.
No,
Chris,
they're not announcing that no time.
You can give up that dream, Chris. I don't know why you keep bringing up PS5 on this podcast, man.
No, I still think they're going to drop it at the end of the presentation as a coming soon.
Okay, you need to go to bed. You are obviously depraved to sleep right now. You need to go to bed.
Okay, man.
There's no way that's
we'll wait.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be happening.
That would be the single dumbest
it would be horrible.
They could make like our console is selling like crazy. Hey, let's put out let's tease a new console to cannibalize its already amazing sales.
No, it's not gonna happen.
I think they're trying. I don't know. I think it's coming. But
I think one.
You're a stubborn British bastard. It's not coming.
I will say. I mean, I agree with everybody. I don't think it's coming either. But I will say one thing to look out for is the Sony financial report that's supposed to be coming out on Friday. There are rumors saying that sales for the PlayStation 4 have peaked. So, I mean, that's not to say that they won't continue to be steady, but you never know, depending on how those profits are. That could be a foreshadowing of when we'll start to see rumblings of the PlayStation 5.
Well, they haven't even hit 199 yet. Neither company really has as MSRP. I mean, that's where a lot of your sales pick up. A lot of your sales was when you get that cheap, because there are a lot of people in this country where let's face it, video gaming is an expensive hobby. It's also a luxury, right?
Right.
You don't need video games or any of this stuff.
That's crazy because video gaming used to be like something to avoid being too expensive.
Right. So I think like Sony's done incredibly well these last 4 years, and Microsoft's done well too, like in their own right, just not as. I think a lot of people they talk shit about. Oh, there's a bad word. I shouldn't.
You gotta get us shut down.
I know, right? One word. Cal's listening. He's gonna be upset.
Go ahead. You good, fam? You good?
But people talk bad about the Xbox because it's just not as doing well as PlayStation. Except it is doing well. I mean, Phil said it's their best gen, and he's referring to like profit wise, because everybody forgets they didn't make any money on the original Xbox. They lost money on every Xbox sold. It was like a black pit of money essentially, right? And the 360 started off with Red Ring of Death, where they had to like set aside over $1 billion to fix that stuff. They didn't make a lot of money in the 360 era. They're finally making some money now, and you have to wonder is how much is Microsoft even trying to compete with Sony now? Maybe they've come to the realization that it's not worth it to compete with them. So let Sony spend all that money for marketing. We'll spend on what we want to spend with the smaller games, and we'll just be happy making a profit and selling third-party games like we do. And going forward, that's exactly what they want to do. We don't know. We're not. None of us are in the board meetings. We don't know the direction that Xbox is trying to head.
Except for you.
I'm not in the board meetings. So it very well could be a situation, and I think you'll know what the pricing structure of Scorpio is. Like, I think it'll kind of clue you in on Microsoft's thinking, because if they price it at $500, they're probably just looking to make money, right? Because that's $500 Scorpio versus a $350 Pro is not a good value proposition, right?
They ain't that crazy.
But a $400 Scorpio versus a $350 Pro, that is the value proposition is insanely on Microsoft's end for those two high-end products. Because you look about it now, who's looking to buy an Xbox One or a PlayStation right now? 60 million PlayStations, 30 million Xboxes. Who's looking to buy these systems? It's not the hardcore anymore. It's the casuals, right?
Right.
You're looking to expand into that.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean that's kind of what I was thinking.
I don't know if a casual's going to go out and spend almost $1,000 on a 4K TV to reap the benefits of a Pro or a Scorpio for that matter.
So yeah, so speaking to that Persona, because I was thinking about that as far as the the 4K marketing and how it may or may not appeal to, you know, the casuals. I mean, Scorpio's really relying on power right now, 4K, 60 uncompromised, all that good stuff. So, like, speak to that, man. What are your thoughts on that strategy?
Well, it goes to this and kind of. I mean, it may come on fanboys. I really don't care, but
we all know you're a fanboy. Go for it.
It like with when you look at PlayStation and Xbox, and you look at the mid-gen iterations with the Pro and the Scorpio, the benefits of the Pro with the 4K is, yeah, you get checkerboard 4K, whatever, these different techniques and stuff like that, but you're also still getting the exclusives, and you're also still getting the third-party deals, and you're also still getting all these great games that's coming out that you can still also play on the Xbox. I mean, on the PlayStation 4 that also look good. The problem with the Xbox Scorpio is it's marketing to you that it's going to be the most powerful console to play your third-party games, but when you look at everything else, that's it. Like, there's nothing else to offer. It's like, if I don't upgrade to a Scorpio, that means that my games are going to be ugly on a regular Xbox, and I'm still not going to be getting any exclusives. With PlayStation, if you don't upgrade to a Pro, you're still getting the Horizons, the Niers, the God of Wars. Despite you're still getting those games on top of them looking decent enough for whatever TV you have. So that's where Xbox and PlayStation kind of fall, where, you know, the levels are very different, because, you know, again, yes, the Scorpio will be the more powerful console. You know, you'd have to be a fool to not think that. It is going to be the most powerful console out, sure. But when you trickle it down to the things that matter more to the people that's picking these things up, it's the games.
Right. Exactly.
You know, and again, we don't know all the details about Scorpio. We don't know what Microsoft has. They could announce some brand new IPs. They may have studios lined up, whatever the case may be. You know, I'm hopeful, just because I don't want to see Xbox and Microsoft kind of dwindle, just because if they start dwindling, then PlayStation gets that big head again, where we start getting $600 fucking PlayStations and we start getting cell architecture shit. No, you know, competition is good for everybody. It's good for the consumer. It's good for the businesses. Keep that going.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to dwindle or anything like that. Just, again, my only concern is that just there's too much focus on being or having the most powerful console and not games right now. You know, that's just my concern. And that's just from like the Microsoft standpoint, you know, fanboys. It's just like, all I'm hearing is it's the most powerful console. It's going to do this, it's going to do that. But like, I'm not hearing about games. And, you know, that's a bit disappointing, because I have an Xbox. You know, I would like to turn it on. I would like to play it again. You know what I'm saying? So I want games on the damn thing. So it's kind of disappointing, because I'm not getting a Scorpio. I have no interest in it, you know, because I'm not 4K ready like that. And I know people say, you know, it's going to look good on 1080p and all that stuff, but it's the same reason why I didn't get a Pro, is because what's the point? What's the point of getting a Pro or a Scorpio if you ain't got a 4K TV? In my opinion. So, you know, I just
sorry.
Go ahead. Who the police after? What's going on out here in the street? Oh yeah, I seen your videos. I should have known that. All right, go ahead, man.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, go ahead, BG. My fault.
You got scared. You heard them sirens. You got scared, Persona.
Nah, what you mean? Me and BG in the same state.
Oh,
okay. I see shit all the time.
Oh, okay.
What was I gonna say? One thing I will note, though, that's very interesting from the community that I haven't been hearing, that a lot of people were saying on the PlayStation side when the Pro and stuff like that was being talked about, was community fragmentation. You know, I don't really see a lot of Xbox guys or Xbox channels or things like that worried about the community being fragmented. Like, they were so worried about the PlayStation Pro fragmenting the community, and, you know, now they have that, what's it called, parity, no block Xbox parity or whatever like that, where they're talking about
are you talking about the new one? The new one?
Yeah, the new one.
We're going to that next. Let's go ahead and go into that then.
My fault.
No, you good. Let's go ahead and go into that. No, it's just to correct you, it's hashtag Scorpio no parity. So there's a petition going around for this thing. So go ahead, speak on that. We're gonna get into that. It's gonna be like the last thing.
Okay. Yeah, because I seen like a couple tweets from people that were saying, they should drop the Xbox One and only focus on the Scorpio. And I'm like, yo, like everybody's not picking this thing up, and for that to be going around really shows the thinking of a lot of the, hardcore diehard people. It's like, when it comes to that type of stuff, it's just crazy.
All right, so here's where this thing's coming from, though, just so everybody knows, in case you don't know. So yeah, there's this petition going around, Scorpio no parity, and basically it's stemming from what I see. Rockstar's messaging when it comes to PlayStation is that Red Dead 2 will be handcrafted to take full advantage of the PS4. So what Xbox gamers want, they want to make sure that PS4, which is now being dubbed the weakest console this gen, is being dubbed the weakest console this gen now. And they're stating that they don't want the weakest console this gen to hold back the Scorpio. So they want the definitive edition of Red Dead to hit the Scorpio and not be held back by PS4. So the only issue I got with this, honestly, and I think Rand probably started this petition. The only issue I got with this, man, is that we don't know enough about Scorpio or like how, the games are going to look on it and all that stuff. We don't know any of that yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, we don't. So, and there's not even like, games necessarily for it. I know games are going to play on it, but they're not games exactly for it, So it's like, why are we even worried about that right now? It's like, here's the thing. It's like, power has consumed a lot of gamers. Like this power play, they're overplaying this thing. I think it's like they're just going way too far with it to the point where games don't matter and it's all about power now. That's what I get out of this crap. So, what do y'all think about this? Let's start with Kev. Kev been a little quiet for a second. What do you think about this Scorpion no parity issue going on here, man?
I mean, to go back to the whole power conversation, I find the whole power conversation a dumb one. I also find it one that was started by both Sony and Microsoft in that regard. When you have Mark Cerny coming out talking about 4 teraflops and Digital Foundry talking about 6 teraflops or whatever. Like nobody knew what the hell a teraflop was like 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Like it sounds like people are just latching onto these things that they're being told are what makes this console special or that console special. And I think that's something that's an idea that needs to die, and it needs to die hard. Because you're going to continue to have these, conversations about Scorpio no parity and PlayStation Pro no parity. You're going to continue to have those conversations as long as that power conversation is in the mix. And from what we've been talking about, even over the last couple of shows, power is not the only thing that matters in this. If you want to feed into the idea of a console war, which I personally do not, but if you want to feed into that notion, having this conversation of power this, power that is not even close to the only thing that should be considered in whether you're choosing between the consoles, if you're choosing to purchase both. So I think the whole conversation is a dumb one.
Bro, are you blind? What the?
They had the PS4 no parity thing going. I think a lot of this stuff is all about revenge. Like I think a lot of gamers, whatever, are trying to get back. You know what I'm saying? They're using the Scorpio as an opportunity to get back for all the wrong and all the sins that have been committed to them this generation. So BG, what do you think about? Have you heard about this? Have you seen this thing? This Scorpio no parity?
I wasn't talking to you just now when I said that. I was talking to somebody else.
I know. I know.
But no, this is actually the first time I'm hearing about it. But I think if the console that has the power should be utilized, that's what I think of it. Should definitely be utilized. I don't see no reason why they shouldn't take advantage of it.
Yeah, it should, but it's like, do you feel like these gamers are kind of being a little like premature with it? Like, are they like jumping the gun here? I mean, it's like, I don't know, man. It seems like they're overreacting to me. I don't understand.
I mean, I think they're acting. They're speaking a lot when they don't know a lot. Yeah, I feel that way. I mean, we haven't seen gameplay of Red Dead. We still know
Exactly.
damn near nothing about Scorpio. So I think they're talking a lot off of knowing almost nothing. But that's what people do.
Yeah, and I think this is just the hardcore fanboys. I'm not going to mention their names on this podcast because every time I do, I get written up by the boss or whatever. But it's coming from like.
Wait, y'all can't curse on here either?
Huh?
Can y'all curse on here? Because
yeah. You can. You just can't say it's PG-13. Just think of it that way.
Okay.
It's PG-13. Yeah.
He's trying to keep it for the families. Oh man.
Yeah, he is.
BG is about to go New York real quick.
Mine definitely wouldn't fit into that category.
Yeah.
None of the kids watch mine.
Oh nah, that's grown up stuff right there.
It's all good. It's all good. Different strokes for different folks. It's all gravy. But what I was gonna say, y'all tripping. Rand, since you started this petition, man, what do you think about this?
What do I think about this? I do recall a lot of PlayStation users very, very upset when Assassin's Creed Unity ran the same on Xbox and PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very upset. How dare these developers make a game run the same? How dare they make the Xbox version run the same as the PlayStation version when the PlayStation is so much more powerful than the Xbox, right? I saw that for a few games, and it kind of died out after a while because eventually it just became the norm, the opposite became the norm. There really weren't a lot of games that performed the same. So now that the shoe's on the other foot and Scorpio's going to run games better than PlayStation, there is the fear among a lot of people that devs won't either put in the time or the effort. They don't have the manpower to fully utilize the power of the Scorpio to get that version looking the best it possibly can look and run, which would essentially dwarf the Pro version. Is it going to be an issue moving forward? I think it's an issue for Microsoft trying to sell the Scorpio to the masses, sure, because if you're trying to sell Scorpio and saying the games all run better, but then all the games just run exactly like they would on the Pro, then that's an issue for Microsoft trying to sell the system. Would it bother me? Not really, because it didn't bother me, before. It didn't bother me on the 360. Like, I felt bad. I remember last gen when games always ran better on the 360.
Yeah. Well,
like Bayonetta was unplayable not unplayable, but terrible on the PlayStation 3. Skyrim basically didn't work, right? I can imagine a lot of maybe you're right. Maybe it's jealousy. People who were at PlayStation last gen hated that. So when they got the most powerful system in the PS4 this gen, they kind of rubbed it in Xbox people's faces,
exactly.
Made them upset. Now the shoe's on the other foot, and Xbox gamers don't want their purchase to be held back by the Scorpio. But I mean, a lot of things go into these. Like just because the system is more powerful doesn't mean the devs have the time or the energy or the manpower or any of that stuff or the money to make that version the best it possibly can be. I mean,
that's true. And don't get me wrong. I definitely do want devs to take full advantage of the Scorpio's power or whatever like that. But I just think these guys are prematurely busting nuts out here in these streets because, we don't need to be worried about that right now. Persona, what do you think? No, you already talked. Enough of you. You too much of a fanboy. Let's talk about somebody reasonable real quick. Kev, what do you think about this parody? There's no parody clause.
Oh, I thought I had already gone.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I was the first one up.
Oh, okay. Let's go with Chris, last but not least.
Bro, it's 3 minutes to 3 a.m. here.
I know. I'm trying to get you out, fam. I'm trying to get you out.
Bro, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know. I don't know. It's all just internet talk, isn't it, really? I mean, it's just people starting hashtags because they can, really. I mean, I think the games are going to be set for Xbox One, the original, and PlayStation 4. So I think that both the Pro and the Scorpio are going to need extra work done on them. Whether companies want to do that or not, that's up to them.
All right, dope. So we're gonna go ahead and get on out of here. You know what I'm saying? I think we are like way over time probably, but it's all good. So in closing, you know, I just want to say, you know, as far as the Scorpio goes, I call the Scorpio Black Jesus. You know, I call it Black Jesus because I feel like, you know, it is the hope of a nation that has been, you know, tormented this whole generation. I feel like now that, you know, a lot of Xbox gamers got the most powerful console coming, you know, it's time to rub it in the PlayStation fans' face and all this stuff that's going on right now. But at the end of the day, you know, Scorpio, I feel like it is a good move for Microsoft. I feel like, you know, it is going to be a great console. And I feel like it's not going to trump PlayStation like a lot of people are thinking it's going to do. I don't feel like it's going to trump PlayStation to any degree. You know, PlayStation has a great strategy as far as their marketing goes, their games. They got exclusive dropping, which I feel like does matter still. And I feel like Xbox definitely is on the right foot. But I'm just concerned that, you know, this whole Scorpio talk is going to kind of trump what they should be talking about, and that's games and, you know, really getting people back involved in their ecosystem and, you know, identifying them with games and new games. That's my only concern. So that's all I really want to say, you know, in closing regarding that. Anybody got any final thoughts they want to throw out there before we do these outros?
Yeah, don't listen to me. I'm an Xbot.
And sometimes devs don't seem to care about don't always care about
quality
for the strongest platform.
Yep.
They really don't.
Because the strongest platform technically is PC. We see those monstrosities that be coming out of the dev teams for some of those games. Batman Arkham Knight. So yeah.
True. Somebody want to know why Rand's on a PlayStation podcast, because Rand is a level-headed gamer and he don't care about, you know, if this is a PlayStation podcast or not. He's still gonna speak his mind and be respected as a man on this cast, regardless. You know what I'm saying? All right, so we're gonna get out of here. Let's go ahead and do these outros right quick. We're gonna start with our guest. Let's start with my man Persona. Do your outros, my brother.
Yo, what is good, people?
You want to start over? You want to start over?
Oh yeah, my fault. Yeah, my headphones got unplugged. My fault. What's good, people? It's your boy Persona of Gaming with Persona and the Council. What's up, PlayStation.com? First and foremost, I'm definitely happy to be here. Thanks for having me as a guest. Shout out to everybody here. Shout out to BG. Yeah, make sure you guys check out my podcast. It's on Saturdays. Mind of a Gamer. It's me and Mr. Official VG, and we always have a guest on. And yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty chill, laid back, nothing too crazy. And yeah, man, make sure you check out the council members, Jay Bari, Mr. Official VG, Crunk Girl 711, and everybody. And yeah, that's it. And always remember, I'm just a gamer trying to share my experiences with the world. And I hope you guys have a good night.
You still going with that tagline?
Of course, because that's all I am.
All right, that's cool. That's what's up. So let's go with my man Rand, who rivals me at being the king of indies. I will admit. Tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
You can find me. I'm the host of TXR Podcast, which is on Monday nights. You can find that TXR Podcast channel or my own channel, where I post daily videos of whatever I really want to talk about, plus reviews and impressions of all the games that come out on Xbox One, indie or AAA. That's youtube.com/RandallThor19. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it and getting to talk to you guys and coming on the dark side of gaming, you know, on the PlayStation side.
What? All right, that's what's up. And then last but not least, BG, aka Mr. Weapon Wheel. Tell everybody where they can find you, good sir.
Yeah, just check us out on Sunday, Weapon Wheel Podcast, 6 p.m. Check us out.
Don't forget to advertise your website, BG.
Oh yeah, and weaponwheelnetwork.com. I still got to get into the trend of that.
Yeah, which actually got revamped. The site got revamped recently, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, real quick, the site do look dope though. I was on there the other day. It definitely looks really cool.
Yeah, I pretty much I get help anywhere I can because that's one thing I like. Even though I'm like really just technically adept. One thing I never was good at, even though I took classes in college, is web development. This shit might as well be like math to me. Like,
yeah,
I suck at web development. So
yeah, we let Cal handle all that on this end. Like, I don't know nothing about that either. All right, so thanks for the guests for definitely joining us. We really appreciate you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed hanging out with us. So let's go with my co-host. Let's start with the British Beef because this man about to fall asleep. Tell everybody good night, sir.
Thanks, man. Good night, everybody. Thanks to the guests. Thanks to the chat. It's been a pleasure.
My man Kev.
Thanks again to all of our guests, and thank you, chat, for the lively and spirited conversation. You can find me on Twitter at DarkTagger, and also follow the podcast at TrophyLife_pod.
All right, that's what's up. All links will be in the description for you guys. Check out for the guests and Trophy Life in general. This is Nicodemus, the king of indies himself. This is Trophy Life episode 8. Thanks so much for joining us. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out, and we are out of here. Peace.
Peace.
No, I get the last word, man, on this show. Yeah, okay, let's do that again. Peace.